Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Today in LA. My name is Mike Amos. His name is Forrest Lee, and we're ready to go on this 10th day of August. And Forrest, just 2 days away, believe it or not, 2 days away, or from a high school football. They tee it up from Highland Home, the Flying Squadron against the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots. This is a milestone, or it would be the first team I think this is right, the first team that Pike Liberal Arts has played in the public schools. Is that true?
Well, as far as football, it will be, but volleyball's already played what they call play date.
Yeah, that's right.
Teams. So the first official game, I guess, will be, when it counts. But this is a milestone for Pike Liberal Arts.
Now, they did play the team in Florida a couple of years ago, didn't they?
Right, that was not part of the Alabama High School.
That's right, that's right. You're right.
But anyway, they played Friday night at Clay Jordan Stadium in Highland Home, Alabama.
Right.
Also, this Friday night, Brantley will host Ayrton in a jamboree.
Yeah.
Both games will be televised on Troy Cable through C Spire Productions or the company. But one game will be on Channel 2. The other game will be on Channel 17.
And they'll take place at the same time?
Right. You can kind of flip-flop.
Yeah.
They'll both be televised or can be seen on Facebook. Go to Troy Cable TV 2, and it can be found on YouTube as well. So you can watch it.
At the beach, at the beach, I could pick it up on the especially on the radio part of it. I mean,
you can pick it up. You can see it on your cell phone.
Yeah, that's right.
Go to Facebook or go to YouTube and type in Troy Cable 2 TV.
TC2.
And it'll have it.
And you can actually watch.
You can watch the game.
Okay, that is something. That's great. That is
watch
great.
It across the
Only on
world.
Troy Cablevision can you do something like that. And I know these two teams are anxious to get started. Now, it doesn't mean anything as far as their record go, but I think as far as bragging rights, especially this Brantley Arrington game, boy, I look for that to be a shootout. Arrington's got a great young quarterback that everybody's talking about. And of course, Brantley's going to have a very good team.
One thing, too, right off the bat, I don't have it in front of me, but, I may have it, but right off the bat, you've got Brantley versus Luverne.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Luverne, I think the next week. So, anyway, tomorrow night, Pike Liberal Arts will host Come Meet the Patriots. It starts at 6:30. Get there early. You can set up a tent and cook out and all that kind of stuff.
Big tailgate party.
Tailgate. You're going to introduce all athletes in the fall sports to include Pee Wee and the cheerleaders and volleyball and things of that nature. Of course, football. And then on Saturday night,
you're going to be the MC. I would think you'd be the one to do it.
But then on this Saturday, Charles Henderson High School, they're going to have Meet the Trojans. That will be this Saturday. Meet the Trojans. That will take place at Veterans Stadium on the campus of Troy University at 7 o'clock. They're going to introduce the football teams first. Then they'll play some scrimmage time, and then at halftime, they're going to introduce the band, the volleyball team, the cheerleaders, probably the cross-country team. And then you're going to, they're asking for a $5 donation for the benefit of the athletic teams at Charles Henderson Middle School and Charles Henderson High School. They're going to have concessions.
Yeah.
So you got Meet the Patriots this Thursday, tomorrow night at 6:30, and then Saturday night Meet the Trojans.
Oh, that's gonna be great. A lot of excitement now, and as we spoke or as we were talking, two outstanding football games. Pike Liberal Arts against a very good Highland Home team, and that's going to be sort of a way to gauge how Pike Liberal Arts will stand up against a real good 2A team.
Yeah, they got a kid named Falk, Kevin Falk.
Yeah,
Anyhow, he's a big old kid, about 6'4", 6'5", 240. He has committed to Florida State and the Seminoles, and he's a good basketball player, football player. You know, some other news out of Highland Home, there's a lot of controversy. You know, they released their basketball coach who went to the Final Four last
Oh,
year,
yeah.
Johnny Mitchell, and I don't know all
well,
the
I
details.
know this.
But they released him.
I tell you something about him. He was a good football coach too. He's the offensive
I
coordinator.
think so. So that's a little bit, the what's the word I'm hunting? The wasp nest kind of stirred up in Highland Home.
Opened up a can of worms or something. But of course, it is. This is the 10th day of August, and of course, the schools are in now everywhere except for Pike Liberal Arts.
Yep, they'll start the 19th.
Yeah.
On a Friday, and then they'll go full speed.
So they got to add an extra vacation, and you know, if I was one of those parents, I'd say, get up, let's go to the beach. one last holiday before school starts. And but now with it looks like the start of school, but at the same time, the football team will play this game just like a regular season game, and against a powerful flying squadron team of Highland Home. Hey,
they went far in the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
they kind of drug around. You know that when you lose to Luverne,
yeah, that's right.
Them, and I was there, and that game got out of hand. But both teams are loaded. And then I think the next week they had to play Brantley.
Yeah.
And they lost to Brantley. So they kind of got knocked down, but they got up and just started rocking and rolling. They lost to the eventual state champions, and I cannot call who that was.
And I tell you, their coach had been on our shows, our coaches' shows, numerous times as an assistant coach at Elba. He was at Elba before. But
Will Pouncey.
Yeah, and what's his first name?
Is it Will or Will?
Yeah, Will Pouncey. And let me tell you this, he's a football coach. He has done a great job there.
He's a graduate of Highland.
Yeah. And hey, do me some research. How in the world do they get a nickname of
without looking
Flying
at
Squadron?
What I was told back in World War II, a lot of, there was no restrictions on age as far as playing sports. A lot of men in that community joined the Air Force.
Yeah.
And they were attached to squadrons. And so when they got back, that's how they got the name the Flying Squadron. There's actually a jet outside the school. It's called Clay Jordan Stadium.
Yeah.
But I'll do that research, but I'm almost sure that's how they got the name through World War II.
Let me have a quick second. Clay Jordan, I knew Clay Jordan. He was a big old guy. You don't know if you've seen him. You ever went to a game back then of Highland Home? Real big guy, probably weighed 350, probably. But he was a former Troy football player, but also a very beloved coach, assistant coach at Robert E. Lee during the highlight years of Robert E. Lee football. Clay Jordan was their line coach, and he coached some great players at Robert E. Lee. And, of course, Tom Jones was the head coach. Are you familiar with Tom Jones?
I heard Tom Jones. He even coached at Troy University.
Yeah, he sure did. He coached 2 years at Troy. I'll give you a little something about him. He was 100. He won 102 and 8. That was his record as a high school coach. That's at Lee. He had coached at one of the smaller schools before then. 1941.
Shut the program down, they got drafted with the war. So when everybody came back, they decided to put the plane there and then the Flying Squadron.
The Flying Squadron. Now you know the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the rest of the story. The entire football team went to war. Did most of them come back alive? I don't know.
They spent decades trying to get the jet fighter to symbolize the school. Finally succeeded in 2008. Dedicated in November 23rd, 2008.
But I'll tell you another great coach there, Claude Giddings, your dear friend,
Yeah, he was there.
one of your best friends on
He was
this
there
earth.
for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And
Now, what was he known for? Was it defense or what?
Claude probably was combination thereof. He did the wing tee, and so you can
Yeah, that's right.
from that. But I can remember I was still in Georgia. He asked me to come and get on the staff, but I was, of course, I had to think about Jody.
You might have still been living over there, you know.
But I ended up coming to Charleston Middle School the next year. But I came to 7 of his 11 games, and like the first 5 or 6 games, he won like within the last 2 minutes of the game. And one thing that he did when he got there, there were a few kids that didn't want to conform, so he said, "Okay, you're not going to play. You're going to do it the right way," and it paid off. And then what they started doing, they started beating Luverne a little bit, started beating Brantley.
Yeah.
And that was rare for Highland Home, for a long time. But he had some great assistants, Bob Ferrier, who played at Auburn.
And he coached there for a long time, you're right.
And he coached the Pouncey kid. He coached Lemaine Wilson, who couldn't play a senior year. He was too old, but then Lemaine played basketball at Troy University and played European basketball.
And I'll tell you another guy that it was one of the all-time greats at Highland Home was Carter. You remember him? The running back, Carter from...
I don't know that, but I remember when I was
Carter,
a little kid.
big running back. If anybody remembers him, give us a call. Our telephone number is 670-0052.
You had Hut Watley. I remember Hut Watley in the 70s. And, of course, Dwight Falk.
Yes, sir.
Played there, and he played at Troy a little bit.
He didn't play at Troy just a little bit. He was good. Now I tell you, he was an offensive lineman that could run. Dwight Falk. Let me tell you this. How about this? Jimmy Norman is, of course, the great Jimmy Norman. Tells a lot of stories because he was a great athlete himself. But he said one of the scariest moments of his life was having to tackle Dwight Falk in open field. Of course, I mean, he could run. He wasn't just 240 pounds. He could run.
I remember in practice, I started being a manager in the 4th grade. Buck Jordan, Ray W. Floyd, Paul Watkins, Mike Porkchop Thomas, John Dozier Laughlin, Chuck Waller.
Oh, boy.
Bruce Long. I mean, I could name them, but he ran a pattern one day in practice, and he was a big. I mean, he flew. I said, I can't believe that rascal can. And he was probably in his 30s at that time, if not 40. It was amazing to me. Everybody's just dropped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How fast.
He was. Let's just say it. He wasn't pretty, but one of the finest men I know was Dwight Falk. I'm telling you. He had done more to help his fellow man than most people, I'll tell you that.
Well, I think the world of me. Used to pick me up, and I'd go keep the stats for basketball games. He would take me home, and I love that. I love Dwight Falk,
Well, let me tell you this, who I loved. I loved Pete Farrah. I loved Pete Farrah. He was so good to me and was such a consistent man, educator, and everywhere he went, he was a hands-on guy. And Pete Farrah will be buried tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes, sir. His service will be at 2 o'clock at the Chapel of Dillard Funeral Home in Troy, Alabama. Visitation's 1 hour prior to the service. And today, Mary Ammon Starling, her funeral services is today at 3 o'clock at Green Hills Funeral Home, and visitation is 1 hour before that.
And of course,
tomorrow, another I want to mention also Rick Stetson.
Yeah.
On Friday, August the 12th at 10 o'clock at Leak Memory Chapel in Montgomery, which is on Lincoln Road.
Exactly.
Rick Stetson will have a service and visitation on Friday in Montgomery. And later on, the family will have family-only ceremony at the Alabama National Cemetery in Montevallo, Alabama.
All right, now let me.
So that's Miss Starling, Miss Farrah, Mr. Farrah, and Rick Stetson.
All right, yeah, back to Rick Stetson now. His ceremony is on the
It's Friday.
Friday, this coming Friday, at what time?
It is at 10 o'clock
10 o'clock, okay.
at Leak Montgomery Chapel,
Yeah, I know that
and-
well.
Leak Memory Chapel in Montgomery.
Yeah, right off Ann Street. It's easy to find, and right off Ann Street. And another great man was Rick Stetson, and Miss Starlin, a great lady, and very, very good at what she did. She was very well known in her work. But let me just say this: her two boys are
Buddy and David.
Buddy and David are two of the best baseball players, and Buddy was a heck of a football player too. That come through Charles Henson, and two outstanding individuals.
Well, one other person I'd like to mention, and her service was yesterday, Miss Eileen Grant. She was 88. She was a resident of Elba, kind of between. Her family was between Crenshaw County and Pike County and Coffee County, in that area. Her husband was Parker Grant, who passed away.
Yeah, I remember
ago.
Parker. Yeah.
But she had her children are Nadine Slomer, Sandra Holloway, Carlton Grant, Wayne Grant, Larry Grant, and Randy Grant. All those are her children, and her service was yesterday. But
Then of
that's
course,
four
yeah.
wonderful people that we.
Wayne's gone back to coaching, at Crenshaw Christian Academy. But we could talk a lot about show talking about Wayne Grant and what not only a outstanding football coach, won all these state championships at and then at the same time a outstanding teacher, a man that taught biology, a head football coach that taught biology, and he never missed a day in the classroom.
Now, it's just like you say, Glenn Daniel was
Yeah, that's right,
a
exactly.
wonderful,
Oh, yeah. No question.
superstar teacher.
And I'll add too, Glenn Daniel, and of course, his great granddaughter just got married, and I know that there was a lot of thought about him, at the funeral. I mean, at that wedding, excuse me. But it's amazing though the man that Glenn Daniel was. Not only was he a great football coach, he was a super history teacher. And he was a wonderful, wonderful Sunday school teacher, adult Sunday school teacher. People used to drive 20 and 30 miles off the beaten path just to sit in on his Sunday school class.
Glenn Daniel State.
Have you ever heard that much about him?
I have.
What a person he was, and of course we could talk about. But let me tell you, to me, Pete Farrell, he hung the moon. He was a great man, a recreation director, a coach, and administrator. Did you ever know him?
I knew of him. I knew his. I taught. I know a couple of his grandchildren, and it says that Rachel Garrett. I taught Rachel. Michelle Blankenship and Catherine Kelly. Those are his granddaughters, and they will share some special memories of Mr. Pete.
That date again, one more time for that funeral.
Again, Perry Lee, Pete Farrah, age 91, will be, his service is Thursday, tomorrow at 2 o'clock from the Chapel of Dillard Funeral Home in Troy, Alabama.
All right.
With the Reverend Brian Dovey officiating. Visitation is 1 hour before the service, tomorrow at 2 o'clock at Dillard Funeral Home.
And a lot of my bringing up days was good because I had a an adult leader like Pete Farrah. And little things. He taught me how to throw a baseball. All right. Now you played baseball all your life. All right. This is a lot of people throw a baseball like this with a hook. They call it a hook. And that's the way you throw a baseball. Well, Pete Farrell taught me to play, throw a ball with coming from right back here and coming over like that. Right back here and over like that. Well, that's a big difference in throwing a ball from like this and with a hook than throwing it like a rocket from way from back here over here. Has anybody taught you that over
Well, the one person I could remember, Royce Stroud.
Yes, sir. He was.
He was home from the Navy, and I was out there trying to play second base, and ball come to me and a ground ball, and I did this. Trying to stop it like that. And I stopped it.
Yeah.
He said, "No, Forrest, do this."
You open that glove up.
Turn that glove over. And that's how, I remember Royce spending time with me doing that. Of course, Daddy talking a lot.
And all the shavers and the
farmers.
And the farmers.
Strouds,
the Wills, and all of those men were great leaders in their community and great role models for those kids, for you and all these other kids.
Here's what they did at Goshen. We had like 4 teams: the Mets, the Braves, the Red Sox. Mets, Braves, Red Sox, Cardinals, I think. But those, Larry Snyder, Keith Snyder, Byron Wilkes, Tommy Davenport, and other, Bill Sanders, Michael, what they would do, if they weren't playing, if their team wasn't playing, they would do the umpiring. I can remember I taught my coach, Dusty Rhodes, Kenneth Wayne
Yes, sir,
Rhodes,
yeah.
and to let me catch. I love catching because Daddy was a catcher at Luverne High School. I said, I want to catch because I moved and played third base. And so he let me catch, and Byron Wilkes said, Forrest, you make sure you catch that ball. Because Byron, he was out there barefoot.
I know it.
He was in his bare feet, Byron. He's probably fishing right now.
Hey, let me tell you something. He could outrun most anybody in this county. Probably the other fastest was his brother Jerry.
Yeah, but, Byron, was married to Miss Gloria. She was a farmer.
Yes, sir. Ned Palmer, related? Ned Palmer?
Maybe, but see, Miss Gloria and Miss Betty Lou Adair and Janice Whitman and Wyatt Palmer were all brothers and sisters of 3 girls.
Oh, boy, okay, yeah.
You say, happy birthday, Byron. It's September the 19th. We share the same birthday.
Yeah. And I've talked about Leon Hilliard so many times on this show, and the great Leon Hilliard, the super coach and tremendous role model for all the kids, and he's another one that could do a real good Sunday school class too. But Pete Farrell, he worked with us boys and girls, mostly boys during recreation times, and he cleaned out the big pool at the Murphy Park over and over again. I never heard him say a profane word in my life. I mean, he didn't feel like he had to lower himself to talk to you in a profane language. You know what I mean?
I remember Mr. Lee.
And he was. Those 2 guys were from Phoenix City, Alabama. They came to Troy with being athletes at Troy State Teachers College, and both of them became coaches at Troy. And let me just say this: Pete Farrell had more sweethearts than anybody. I mean, girls that just loved him. The kids that how you have these teachers and that really got along with the student body. He did, and he was good to everybody. He didn't like you because of how much money your daddy made, but who you were, and that's Pete Farrell.
Yes. We'll go ahead and mention, it's coming up, the 31st annual rodeo. The Pike County Cattlemen's will be hosting the rodeo on August the 26th and 27th. That's a Friday and Saturday. It's with the National Cowboy Pro Rodeo Association. They're going to have all kind of events. You can get your tickets early, advance for $10. Kids 12 and under are free. The door tickets will be $12. I want to mention their sponsors: Premier Chrysler, Dodge,
Yes,
Ram,
sir.
McCoy, Truck Works, Wally Sanders Truck Lines, and Alabama Ag Credit. And you know, if you, a great organizations to be a part of, you don't have to have cattle to be a member of the Pike County
No,
Cattlemen's Association.
and I was for a long time.
But
Yeah.
what they do is they help raise money for high school students and give them scholarships throughout this area. But the rodeos come August the 26th and 27th. Barrel racing, bull riding, bronc riding, breakaway roping, and there you
Are
go.
they going to do anything for the kids?
Oh, yeah,
Will Jason's girls be able to perform? I would love to
I
watch
guess they
that.
would. This is they're having a kids' western festival that will include mutton busting, stick horse racing, bouncy horse racing. But I'm sure they'll have events for that. I'm not positive.
But this is a big time professional rodeo
Right.
where they win real money.
National Cowboy Rodeo Association.
Uh-huh.
And
And
one thing we mentioned earlier, Mike, I want to mention this to the audience. Backpacks for kids, it's a fundraiser. It's going to be this Saturday at Memorial Parkway here in Troy, Alabama, where the flags are normally set up. It'll start around 10:30. So if you'd like to donate backpacks or come by and make a donation, there's a group raising money
is
for
this
backpacks.
this a Hoss Daddy production?
As part of that, he's got some truck drivers who started this. It's called Let's Talk About Ministry. It's their second annual Packs for Kids fundraiser. You can call 334-470-2105. Again, 470-2105 for more information about it. Or
And-
show up at the park about 10:30 this Saturday.
And our good friend, Hoss Daddy, Jeffrey, we appreciate him very much and all the wonderful things that he has brought to Troy and to our TV station here. And boy, he is everything he touches, he does well. I promise you.
Ozark, Alabama, Friday and Saturday.
That's right. I'll be
Got a
there.
nice poster on it, and if you want some tickets, you can call 670-0052, and
Or you can call this number right here, 670 00, or actually, you can call the station here at there it is right there on our deal there, and I've got tickets too if somebody needs tickets to it, and it's a free concert. The world famous Tams. Be young, be foolish, but be happy, and a great song. And they've had many songs, and it's a Motown group, and I love that Motown, and they're one of the all-time greats. You had the Drifters, the Temptations, the Four Tops. You had those guys, and the Tams in concert and dance. And from the Civic Center, it's going to be at 7 o'clock start this Friday night at the Civic Center in Ozark, and
the doors open at 5:30.
And it is free.
And then Saturday they have three bands at
Exactly.
downtown Ozark. The band Britain, I'll mention something about them. The Stripling coach down there in Geneva County, there's several of those teachers are former coaches that have a band that's a tribute band to the Beatles.
Yeah.
They say they're unbelievable. It's called the Band Britain. And they start at, I believe, at 2 o'clock.
If I'm in town, I am going to be there. 2 p.m. start with the band called Britain, and then you got Justin Lowry and Four on the Floor. There's another band, and then the big band starts at 7 o'clock, and they're called K-Jams, and they are really a well-known 50s and 60s group.
That's going to be at the amphitheater in downtown Ozark.
And a lot of people say, how does Ozark get a facility like that? Well, they've had it for, I would say, 25 years or more, but they got a grant and took advantage of it, and got a facility that is about as good as you're gonna find anywhere for a concert like this. It really is.
Well, tomorrow night also in the downtown Troy, Alabama, at the Johnson Center, it's called the Cotton Rose Quilters from 6 o'clock to 7:30. They're gonna have a opening exhibition at the Johnson Center on East Walnut Street. The public's invited, and you can meet the members of the Cotton Rose Quilt Guild. They'll have several quilts on display between August the 10th, which is tomorrow, or tonight, or today, through September the 30th. But if you want to see some beautiful quilts, they will be at the Johnson Center in downtown Troy.
See, for some reason, we are not getting Mike Amos on our phone right now, and hopefully he'll call back. But
that's
the
tomorrow
phone
night.
wasn't on, here, and of course, I'm sure he's.
We got a dial tone.
Is it?
Yeah, we got a dial tone.
Okay, all right.
We can call him.
All right.
He may be taking youngest to
What
school.
is his dial tone? What now? All right, he probably had to go to take the kids to school. That's probably it. That's right. He would have called up top. Then some other things going on. Of course, pro football started with some exhibition games, and I reckon we can watch some football. Alabama is number one in the country as far as the coaches poll goes, and I think that's, to me, the best poll out there. They're the most knowledgeable to me. Alabama is the number one team, then followed by Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, and Notre Dame. And then comes Michigan, Texas A&M, Utah, Oklahoma, and Baylor. That rounds out your top 10 teams. And other teams, Oklahoma State, Oregon, with I'm going to be a big Oregon fan because my quarterback's playing for him.
He's going to find out early because he gets to play Georgia in Atlanta.
Oh, he does.
We'll find out early.
Oh, yeah. We're talking
Welcome
about.
back.
Yeah, we were talking about.
But best of luck to him. I mean, really.
Whoever put that together, what we're talking about, Oregon, led by their quarterback again. What's his name?
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, and I was a big Bo Nix fan, and still am. And
I don't have my
played Georgia
college schedule in front of me, but we were talking about. Somebody made a comment yesterday about who's Auburn playing the first two games. Well, Alabama's not playing much of a better schedule.
I know it. Well, you're right. We'll go over that in a few minutes. But North Carolina State's supposed to have a lot better team, and Michigan State, by their people talk about how great that coach is. We're going to find out this year how good he is. Southern Cal, of course, has the former Oklahoma coach as their head coach, and he's supposed to be a guru, and we'll find out about him. And and a few other teams, Pittsburgh lost their quarterback last year to graduation, and they were a real good defensive team. Miami will be better because of their big bull coach.
Cristobal.
And he don't take prisoners either. He don't take prisoners. But also Texas is 18. Wake Forest. Now let me tell you, this guy a lot of people say this guy might be the best coach out there is at Wake Forest, and look out for them. Wisconsin's 20th, Kentucky. A lot of people say this might be the best Kentucky team ever, and they are really good. And of course, but they lost their linebacker coach. And he's at Troy University. How did Troy University get our linebacker coach? People from Kentucky probably saying that right now, and he's a great recruiter too.
Right.
And also Cincinnati 22nd, Arkansas 23rd. What jumps out at you at Arkansas?
I like their coach. Their quarterback is pretty good.
You're exactly right.
Good athlete.
They've got a coach that don't take prisoners, and let me tell you this: they got a quarterback that weighs 250, 255 pounds. That you get it's like trying to tackle the Statue of Liberty.
He's about 6'6".
Yes, sir, and he is a great quarterback. So Arkansas is led by that guy, and they got him way down, but they'll be good. Ole Miss is the number 24th team, followed by Houston, Auburn was not picked in the top 25, but look out, Auburn will be much better, I think, and gonna be a lot of great games.
You know, you were talking about Notre Dame and Ohio State. Ohio State's ranked number 2.
Yeah.
Notre Dame 5. Well, they open up the season against each other. Notre Dame will travel to Ohio State.
Oh boy.
And then get this: the next week, Notre Dame will host Marshall.
All right. Well, that'll be a good look at Marshall, won't it?
Then they'll play California. Then Notre Dame plays North Carolina. They say BYU is a sleeper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then they play Stanford, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. They'll play at Syracuse. They will host Clemson.
Okay.
And then they'll play Navy at a neutral site. Then they play Boston College, and then they play at Southern Cal.
You know, Notre Dame's never dodged anybody. You know, their schedule's always been tough. Let me ask this: what jumps out at you when I say Brigham Young or BYU? What jumps out at you?
I would say discipline and
bunch of old men playing out there, ain't it?
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, but and all those things. But the bottom line is, they play with the older men than all the other schools in the NCAA football.
Because they usually go on their.
That's right.
Their mission.
Most players start at 17, 18-year-old kids. Well, BYU starts at 22, 23-year-old kids because they've gone through their missionary.
Well, tell us a story about the athletic director. Didn't his daughter go to Troy University?
Yeah, we brought her on the show one day. I used to bring a lot of them, and they're still welcome to come. I like talking to them, and we're talking about Mormons, at BYU, and they are all over the world and have a great ministry. But I had these two Mormon girls on my show one day, and got to know them pretty well, and we just talked back and forth and interviewed her, and we went to breakfast and all that, like we do a lot of our visitors on our show. And later on, I found out that her daddy was the athletic director at BYU. Mm-hmm. And
did you get a gift package?
Well, yeah, and he came to Troy one day, and it just so happened I was out of the pocket or gone somewhere. And he wrote me a note and said, sorry, I couldn't be with you today. I wanted to personally thank you for being so nice to my daughter while she was having her ministry at Troy. And he said, I really enjoyed going through the campus, and I really liked it. And hey, if they wanted to play a game, we'll find a way to do it. And we had talked about playing a game when she was on our show, and then I received a package, just a fine jacket, just nice to be a hat, and another shirt to go with it. And he said, this is just for being nice to my daughter. And he's still at BYU and doing a great job.
One family here in Troy that I want to mention, one of the best ever, still is, the Mark Salmon family.
Oh, yeah.
All those boys,
yes, sir.
And Abigail was the caboose.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great children.
Now, I don't know where they went, but let me tell you this. They left a 10 or 15-year legacy.
Is he still here at Troy?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I know he sold his house and everything.
Well, he probably didn't need it anymore because all the kids vacated.
yeah, exactly.
Last I heard, Abigail was at the University of Alabama.
Yeah. How many kids were they? 6 or 8?
There were 6 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
And I could be one off. Could
yeah.
be 7 and 1, but it was a bunch.
But just great people. They came from an area where that was the religion that most everybody lived by, and still today it's a wonderful ministry, I'm sure. And he did he was the actual preacher for that church, Mark Salmon.
Yeah, they're located on the Elba Highway. That's like Churches Row. You got
yes, sir.
Churches there. One thing I want to mention too, I read this morning on an article ESPN or CBS Sports, but the Big Ten is about to finalize their new media rights agreement that will be worth more than $1 billion.
And they're gonna split that money.
They'll split that money over I don't know how many years,
Oh man,
but it's going to start in 23, 24.
yeah.
So ESPN is not part of that mix. It's going to be CBS and someone else. I don't know who they are, but they're fixing to reach a big media rights agreement.
And you know what I think about? I know, like Troy, you know, it's always very important to raise money for athletics, and it takes money to run a outstanding sports program like we do have. But look at those guys; they don't really have to do anything. They'll get $50 million a piece or more, or $100 million a piece. I don't know however the split is, but that split will give them a lot of money.
Fill up those 90 to 100,000 seat stadiums.
Yeah.
Just like that, they'll play like 8
That's
home
right.
ball games.
That's
Like
right.
Auburn, I think, plays 8
That's
home
right.
ball games.
Yeah, and
One's in Alabama. Number
Yeah.
9, I think they got to go to Mississippi. Then they may have to go to Georgia or what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let
Anyway,
me just say this. Now, how many home games does Auburn have?
I think 8.
Well, let me just say this. Some of my best friends on this earth are those boys across the street, the Wise boys. They're big Auburn fans. And let me tell you something. Every weekend, they get their motor home. Every game, every weekend that Auburn plays at home, they'll get their motor home and they'll set it up. And one of the best places out there. They've been tailgating so long. They had a choice of where they wanted to be. And over 50 Troy people will go to their tailgate party every game, every football Saturday. But the most important thing is it don't matter who you play, but it's who you tailgate. Bring all your friends to have a great Saturday of college football, and that's what the Wise boys do. They have a great Saturday every home game at Auburn, and they bring a lot of Troy people with them. So if you want to find a bunch of Troy people wearing orange and blue, you'll find them every weekend when Lyle and Lane Wise go to Auburn.
It's one of the most electric stadiums. I haven't been there for a big electric game lately, but when you're playing Penn State,
Oh yeah.
or if Alabama rolls into town, or Georgia, whoever, that electricity in that stadium is just.
If I have to drive my own self now, I know where I can get plenty of food. I know where I can get plenty of food and drink. Is over at the Wise's tailgate party, so I have no problem. All I need is one ticket, because I'll get in my car and drive to see the Penn State Auburn game. I want to be there to see it. And they got to have rails, though, so I can grab them, so I can walk up the
Will they
stadium steps.
play in the afternoon or at night?
I don't know. I would think it'd be, I don't know if it would be, at Penn State, it was a whiteout. I always had, everybody wore white, and they have a great fan base. And Auburn has one of the greatest fan base in college football history. Auburn really supports
I
that.
got a note from Mike that says the phones are not working. He cannot call in. It's a busy signal.
Yeah.
You know his number? Let's see if I call him.
I don't have it on me. I don't. But we do miss him.
Well, we got a dial tone.
Yeah, we can get it. Of course, Auburn opens up with the Mercer Bears, and why shouldn't they open up with the Troy Trojans? Ole Miss is opening up with Troy Trojans, and of course, we're looking forward to that. Everybody says the best place to stay is Tupelo, which is about an hour and a half away. Most of the motels are packed to the brink for this opener against Troy University. And
Hello. Hey, let me see if I can put you on hold. Hang on.
We're calling Mike Amos, on our show today.
Good morning.
Talking
You on
about
Today in
Piggly
LA?
Wiggly.
Hey.
Hey,
Mike,
well,
we're
we called
sorry,
you.
man.
I don't know what's going on, but anyway, welcome.
You sound great.
Well, let me get my earpiece in real quick.
Mike Amos will be calling us from Grayton Beach, but we're talking college football and how much fun it is to regardless of whether or not they're playing Mercer or Penn
You hear
State.
me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir, we got you good.
tell us about it, Mike.
I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
Well, we've been talking back and forth.
I've been trying to call in for 40 minutes.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
First day of school down here in chaos. My wife called me and said the police couldn't direct all the traffic in off 98, so everybody's gonna be late for school this morning because school starts at kindergarten down here at 7:35.
Oh gosh.
That's considered party, so kind of crazy.
You know, that's one thing that has got to be aggravating is traffic when you can't get your own youngin to school on time, or you have to leave 45 minutes early and there's 5 miles away.
Oh yeah.
How long? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, we were there yesterday, and we met the teacher, and she said that there was 11 first grade teachers and over 18 kids in
11.
the class.
wow.
And 18 kids per class.
How many teachers?
Yeah.
11 or 8? 11?
But
11, yeah, 11 first grade teachers.
Well, let me tell you this. That is ideal, really. That is ideal numbers, for a teacher to have 15, 18 students. That's pretty good.
But I mean, this is not the only elementary school down here. There's another school off 38 called Butler Elementary that's got 11 teachers as well.
God.
So,
Yeah.
when you're talking about like in a 10-mile area, there's over 22 teachers teaching first grade down here.
Yeah. Oh man.
And over 400 students. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to be a huge graduating class one day.
They're going to have to, are they already got the high school built, or they going to have to build it?
Oh, no, they've already built South Walton Hospital. They have an auditorium in South Walton Hospital that's as big as most colleges. It probably holds about 1,500 kids.
So are they pretty good in athletics? Do they run pretty good football?
They went to the third round of the playoffs last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mike, somebody told you, your mama was telling me that you looked up and you saw that name Fox Williford, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, that's the grandson of my best friend Sonny Williford, who's not with us anymore, but his grandson Fox is carrying on the name.
Yeah, I was texting Fox's dad yesterday. Fox Williford. I guess
Yeah,
Fox.
that's right. Yeah.
We were talking about how they're gonna be in the same class, and pretty crazy that an Amos and a Williford will be in a class together at Dune Lakes Elementary.
I know it.
Down here in Santa Rosa Beach.
I know it. We were two of a kind. I tell you, Sonny Williford, great man.
I'm sure Sonny would have got a kick out of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna call KT and tell him what you said. Hey, the legacy moves on. The name moves on, and I hope they carry it well.
Yeah, we were walking around yesterday, and I'm still just amazed about how big this school is. Like, I mean, it's like 20-foot ceilings. I mean, the cafeteria holds about 1,000 kids. I mean, it's crazy how big this is for an elementary school.
Oh, it is, and if you've never seen it, it's not far off the beaten path either, is it?
No, my wife was laughing at me because now next to the school they built a gas station with a Burger King in it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
She told me now if I ever get hungry waiting in the carpool line, I can just get out the car and go walk over and get a burger.
Yeah, I know it. That is great.
Do they both go to the same school, Michael?
No, Millie goes to
Okay.
where we go to church, Point Watson Methodist Church. She's still in preschool. She's actually in BPK this year.
And And they have an excellent school there. Now, is it right next to the
right
church?
on the bay. It's right on the bay back
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
It's a brand new school, brand new facility they built as well. So it's nice.
So y'all
Both my
rotate.
girls have gone to preschool.
Y'all rotate. One takes one this way, one takes the other way.
Well, I do the show, so I take Millie later. Millie's got to be there at 8:30 today. So I'm probably going to leave a little early, but most days she didn't have to be there till 9.
Yeah, but they love that school, and now she has one more year there, and then she goes to the big school. Is that right?
Yeah. But then after Mary Prater gets out, Mary Prater does aftercare at the preschool at the church, so she's back with Millie.
So she'll enjoy that. All her friends are there. Isn't that right?
Yeah, we got her doing. Mary Prater's going to do OWASH Kids, where she's with all these kids she went to BCK with. They have all kinds of art programs and sports, and she does that on Mondays. And then we got her set up with choir. Now she's going to do choir on Wednesdays. So little children's choir.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be great. I'm proud of them. I really am.
Michael, I saw where a federal judge in Memphis, Tennessee, denied a temporary restraining order to 3 golfers who were seeking to participate in the FedEx Cup playoffs this weekend.
Yeah, I read that.
Gooch, Jones, and Swafford can't play.
Yeah, I mean, these guys earned the right to play, but, once they joined LIV, they basically left the PGA Tour, and the PGA Tour didn't want them to be a part of it. So,
but they're no name. They're really pretty much no name guys.
They're in the top 150. One of
them
them's number 20, I think.
I mean, they're guys that have won pretty good money, but I mean, not huge winners, but they made so much money signing with LIV. I guess they've already made their money back then. So, did y'all realize the guy, or not guy, whoever won the Mega Millions is not collected yet?
Why?
Probably doesn't know he won it.
Doesn't know he won it or threw away the ticket.
Whoa.
The $1.3 billion prize has not been claimed yet.
Whoa.
What happens if it's not claimed?
Yeah, I know it.
Got
I
a full
wonder.
year, or how long does he have?
That's what I'm pulling up.
I'm gonna go back and check mine again.
It's been more than a week since some lucky person or persons won the $1.3 billion Mega Millions jackpot, but as of today, no one has come forward to claim the prize. What happens if no one ever does, that is claimed on the Mega Millions website. Here's what it says. If the jackpot prize is not claimed within the required time limit, which varies by state, each participating state in the Mega Millions game will get back all the money that the state contributes to unclaimed jackpot. Each state uses unclaimed lottery prizes for different purposes. Contact the lottery where you play to find out how unclaimed prizes are used.
It's like
Illinois requires Mega Million winners to come forward within 1 year after the drawing date to claim their prize. It's also one of the states that allows winners to remain anonymous if they choose, so we may never know more than the winner can step forward. So unbelievable to know that this is out there and it's not been turned in yet.
Oh gosh.
But do some states require that you got to be public about it, or can you move?
Yeah, but Illinois is not one of them.
All right. After a year, what happens now? What after the wait?
Basically, it goes back to the states. I guess back into the Mega Millions jackpot. Is what I guess.
Okay. Well, that's something, man. That's something. And yeah, you better double or
I mean,
triple.
can you imagine around there? There's like people like searching for this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure they are. I tell you.
I mean, can you imagine? Is that like got thrown away or trash or landfill?
You think you would think they would give it to charity, wouldn't you? When you think they'd give it to charity, after the year's up, Let's take a break. We'll be back. Brought to you by Raymond's Barbershop on the South Brunton Street in Troy, and of course Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need. We'll be back.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever. At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever. At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever. At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever. At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever. At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Let's power today.
Good morning, Will Matthews.
Hey, Will, good. Will, let me ask you this: where did you go, man? I was looking for you everywhere. I was going, but after the meeting.
I had a doctor appointment in Dothan I had to get to.
Yeah, I understand. You all right now, aren't you?
Oh, yes, my eye doctor went for my surgery back in January.
I was in Ozark yesterday for the Rotary Club, and the food was wonderful. In fact, they had and I really mean this, some of the best fried green tomatoes I have ever eaten, and they were real crisp. Did you try any of that?
Mike, I try to stay away from fried food.
Oh, you okay?
And, but they are good.
Yeah.
The food in that place is very good.
It really tastes homegrown. You know, most everything tastes like it does at home, and I was very impressed with it too. I really was. And
it's very similar to what Sisters used to be before COVID.
Yeah. I went to another meeting, a wonderful tailgate meeting in Crenshaw County later on in the day, and my buddy that headed up the meeting at your place was very complimentary of the Rotary Club of Ozark.
Oh yeah, they do a lot of good things. A lot of money for school there.
And, I saw your son, and boy, he's a fine-looking gentleman, and I know you're proud of the way he's grown up. He's quite a kid.
Yep, and he had an experience of a lifetime working for Trump in the White House for 4 years. So
I could see that in him, though. I could see a very disciplined young man. I really could. And
he's one of the few people.
He never
Go ahead,
found out. I know, but I mean, when he got hit by, what did he get by a bus or a shuttle? I mean, whatever happened to all that?
I didn't hear you, Mike. What did you say?
You might not want to hear it.
You remember when he got injured? He got hit. I mean,
He got run over by a bus.
I know, it's the
Oh yeah, he had to have a shoulder replacement.
Well, I hope he got some money out of that deal.
He did.
Well, good. Well, I tell you what, I rode around Ozark, and I always do. Ozark is a beautiful town, and it has as many. I've never seen so many nice. I mean, I'm talking about very nice houses in Ozark. You know, it seems like a great place to live. They've got good public education there, and you know the guy heading up the public schools in Ozark. His name is Regis. Oh gosh, he played football at Troy. His name was oh boy, he's over the school system, and Revis Gertman. Revis Gertman. You ever heard that name, Mike? Played at Troy. You know, and now he's over the Ozark City Schools, and does a great job.
When did he play at Troy?
He played at Troy in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Blakeney.
Yeah, I think he did play for Blakeney some. Yeah, and
I realized that star running back, defensive back, AJ Harris from Glenwood Academy, that was their star player the last several years. He transferred to Central Phoenix City.
Oh, he did. Oh man.
Yeah, I was reading an article about it. He also signed with Georgia.
Yeah. I you know.
There's an article too. There's a kid that played at Morgan Academy. That's the #1 prospect in baseball. He's a left-hand batter.
Yeah.
He plays for a AA affiliate, but he
Yeah, he was the one that played Fight Level Arts when they played for the championship. When they beat Fight Level Arts like that, 15-1.
That's right. Yeah, the first game of that playoff. Yeah.
And then Fight Level Arts came back and swept them. They had about 4 or 5 Division I guys when I saw
Yeah. Good looking players, and
he went straight to the Major League draft though.
Right, he signed for like $2.3 million. I don't know who drafted him, but
I mean, to be the top prospect in baseball is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
All right, but now does that mean now he's
Yes.
the top prospect?
Yeah.
But I thought y'all said he signed the bond.
He's the top prospect in all the minor leagues.
Oh,
to
okay.
go up to the next.
Oh, I got you.
level.
Go to the next level. But Mike, we've got a lot of football to talk about, and of course, a lot of things going on in our community, and of course, we again are thinking about friends that we've lost, and you know, and hopefully our prayers will reach these people and great family, the Starling family, and of course Pete Farah, and you know, we are praying for you to trust in the Lord, and He'll take care of it all.
I saw where Michael, that Hotani, the guy that plays for the Angels, he has joined Babe Ruth as the only 2 Major League Baseball players in history to have 10 wins pitching and 10 home runs in a season. Otani won his 10th game yesterday, so
And he hit that many home runs.
he's hit like 26 this year. But he and Babe Ruth are
Yeah.
the only 2
Hey, that amazing?
guys in Major League history
Yeah.
to be a pitcher and a hitter,
That's
hit
great.
over 10
Yeah.
home runs and have 10 wins. And can you imagine Rodolfo Castro, who plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates? He's a rookie. He's sliding into second base, playing the Diamondbacks, and his cell phone falls out of his pocket. That happened yesterday.
I can't believe a player would have a cell phone in his pocket in a Major League Baseball game.
I think it's
Unbelievable.
rookie. He said, "I apologize."
I was reading an article. There's a book out by Jonathan Tilley on AL.com. It's the leadership secrets of Nick Saban, how Alabama's coach became the greatest ever. And there's a story in there about the kick six, about the devastating loss to Auburn, and it basically chronicles the locker room after the game that Nick Saban was actually in tears after the kick six loss. A quote by a former Alabama player said, "You walk in, everyone is crying." Former Alabama player Christian Jones is quoted saying in the book, 50% crying, 50% tearing up. Coach Saban was in tears. He could barely talk. His face was red. Everyone was emotional. It was like a funeral moment. Talking about Alabama's locker room and Coach Saban after the kick six loss.
That might have been the biggest play in Auburn history, because that turned a lot of things around too. You know,
Well, the week before,
But, I
they
mean-
beat Georgia on
Yeah.
a fluke.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
like Horseshoe City.
Yeah,
But congratulations. to
Yeah.
the Tigers.
exactly right.
Saban after that game almost took a job working for ESPN. Almost left Alabama
Yeah.
to become the head ESPN college football analyst.
You know, I look at Saban now. I could see Saban coaching 10 years from now. I really could.
Michael, I think Saban has won 4 national championships since that night.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you would never even think to even hear that Saban would be crying in the locker room. You've been around him and seen him at press conferences. I mean,
I've always heard the closest always heard the closest he ever left Alabama was for Texas for just ungodly amounts of money.
Yeah, that was
a while back. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Hey, Will, I enjoyed. I stopped by and looked at. I'm thinking I looked at the at your renovation of the home, your grandparents' home down there.
Yes.
And is that the original roof, or is that one that y'all put up, that roof?
They replaced the roof. The roof was 100 years old.
Yeah.
Back then, when they built stuff, it stayed,
Yes, sir. But I tell you, it's a huge house. In fact, the top of that chimney in that house has got to be the highest point, other than a tower in Ozark. Wouldn't you say?
I don't know.
I mean, that is a tall. That tower is very. I mean, that chimney is real high.
Do those old houses have lightning rods? Or is that needed? You know what I'm talking about? Like
That's a good question. I don't know.
For safety. I'm just curious. I don't know why I thought of it.
Now, Will, and I can tell you've still got a lot to do, but that's going to be a. Are you going to try to do it as close to the architecture that it was before?
Yeah, that's my son doing it, not me.
Well, I think it's going to be a real nice place.
The great thing about it, though, is somebody actually living in that house and want to do the work?
Yes.
And
he's on pace to have
He's looking for a place up near Prattville, and once he finds a place up there to go live by his daughter, then Dave and his wife and them will move in.
Well, and I tell you what, it's going to be something that people will really enjoy, riding down that street with all those old homes. I rode down it up and down it twice yesterday, and just marveled at some of these houses. Right catty-corner across the street. How old is that house?
They're all old, Mike. I don't know how old they are.
Yeah. But it was a beautiful place. I enjoyed riding up. What's the name of that street again?
Broad Street.
Broad Street in Ozarks is a beautiful place. Now, Will, what's been going on in golf?
Well, we've got the playoffs starting this weekend in Memphis, and normally this is the week I'm going to be on camp in Memphis because of the tournaments there at her club. One of her, she belongs to two clubs, one of them Southwind in Memphis, and I normally go visit her one time a year, and it'd be this week, but since we're having all the big deal in Ozark, I'm not going.
Yeah. Well, I'm very interested in the Ozark celebration, which starts Friday with the fabulous Tams, the world famous Tams will be there in concert and dance, and then your buddies, the K-Jams, play Saturday night at 7.
And they are really good, Mike, and they don't do as many concerts as they used to, but they are very good.
Now, they're mostly 50s and 60s music? What now?
60s and 70s.
Okay, good. That's going to be some wonderful music.
Yeah, the big news in golf right now is Cam Smith. They're saying we won the British Open. The great Australian player that won the British Open, the Players Championship this year, is going to lead for the Live Tour.
Oh boy!
Michael, he can win $18 million.
Yeah, that'll be another guy.
He can win $18 million and tell the PGA to get lost.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. He's going to play the playoffs, is what they're saying, but him and Leishman, another Australian player, apparently going to join Live, which kind of makes sense with Greg Norman leading the golf tour.
Let's look at the.
Michael, in addition to the $18 million, he's already won $4 million for being second place on the tour list for the year.
Yeah. They got.
Already won $4 million.
Yeah.
golf tournaments, he gets that money too.
Oh boy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You know, Scotty Scheffler has already won over 13 million. Cameron Smith had won right at 10 million. And Sam Burns came out of nowhere. He won right at right near 7 million, along with Xander Schauffele won 6.5 million. That's just some of the guys that'll be playing this weekend.
You can add 5 million to Scotty Scheffler because he was number one on the list.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
So he wins $5 million for being where he was,
Just to be number one on the list going into the playoffs.
boy.
If you finish second, you win $6.5 million.
Golly,
I'm looking at it now. So
man,
Looks like the
that
Big
is.
Ten is finalizing an agreement with CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports to carry the Big Ten starting 2023, 2024. It's going to be a $1 billion contract that the Big Ten is signing. They will not be a part of ESPN, which is surprising.
And, you know, and the ESPN runs the show though, don't they? And especially the bowl
Well, I mean,
games.
this is going to be a contract with CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports.
Well,
$1 billion, and you know they're going to be at University of Southern California and UCLA will be a part of the Big Ten, which still makes no sense to me.
oh man.
And they'll never be able to have game day anymore either.
Now
Yeah,
why?
that's right.
Why? You know, they didn't get the television rights, did they?
Game day is
Well,
ESPN. They will never go to Big Ten anywhere.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, man, that's going
you
to be
reckon though
tough.
this year they'll be at Notre Dame at Ohio State on the 3rd of September?
Nope.
They won't be
No,
there
they
this
might
year
be this year. Yeah,
This
this
year.
year they might be.
because they open up. Have they announced who they're going to first yet?
Don't know. Michael can Google it probably.
That'd be
Yeah.
number 2 versus number
Yeah.
5.
You know, but
I'll guarantee you where they'll be September 10th.
Texas.
You're right.
And that's 11 o'clock kick. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
yeah,
I'm going to I'm going to Austin in October 1st, I think, weekend for a wedding, which I'm looking forward to. I've never been to Austin.
they say it's a great place. You know, artsy,
Game day crew announced Tuesday that it'll be on site week 1 for the matchup between Notre Dame and Ohio State. The game is set to take place at Ohio Stadium Saturday, September the 3rd at 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central Time.
that'll be the big night game then, won't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. But
be right in the middle of Alabama, Utah State.
oh yeah. well,
Alabama will be ahead 40-0 by the time that game starts.
did Alabama did they yeah, I'm sure it's televised, but did they get a major network?
Alabama's right after Troy Ole Miss.
Hey,
on
Mike.
NBC Network.
You said you're going to be there the 1st of October in Austin?
Yeah.
West Virginia rolls into town to play Texas. Has not been determined what time they play yet.
Hey, I can
Neil
call
can
my old
get
buddy
you
Neil.
tickets.
Yeah. Should I call my old buddy
Neil can get you tickets.
Probably could. That's who they play. West Virginia.
I'm sure my wife would not allow that. She probably would not want to go.
It says you get a ticket for $18. Cheapest ticket is $18 for that game. Is what it says here.
Yeah, I just got to walk in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back to this PGA Tour. I've been it's just amazing. The 150th ranked player in the world is named Eric Van Woosen, and he's won 927,000. So the 100th player out there still wins right at $1 million. And
A lot of money.
you know, Stuart Sink, you would think he won over $1 million, but you know, he played well in several tournaments. And you know, of course, he's from Florence, Alabama. And Duffner and
He's
them.
a two-time winner of the Future Masters.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yep.
And of course, I was looking at some other, top 25. This Taylor Goose.
Ricky Fowler got in at 125, and then he fired his caddy yesterday after 13, 14 years.
Oh gosh.
Ricky Fowler has made more money in endorsements to be a guy that I think only won 5 times his whole career than any golfer in the history of golf. Wouldn't you say, Will?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's a super popular player that barely even makes cuts anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He won a little over $1 million. He won $1,040,000, and he ranks 135.
He did win a players championship, so that's about the closest thing to winning a major.
Yeah.
The Leonard.
Like 1 year, he almost won all 4 majors in 1 year. He was like second or third in every one of them.
Yeah.
But
But he's lost his game.
yeah. You look at these guys, and these old fellas are being weeded out. They you don't see near as many of the older guys around. Stuart Sink was one of the older guys. He ranks 124. And
He's about ready to hit the senior tour.
I know it. Yeah.
Stewart is. His club.
But the money really changes though once he hits the seniors group, don't it?
It's a lot more.
Jason Day is, at one time one of the top players. Is right now 122.
Hey, my cousin's made over $1 million this year in the senior tour.
Yeah.
So he's played in 14 or 15 tournaments and come in the top 10 in 12 of them.
That's good. And what is his name again?
Doug Barron, but he hadn't won a tournament this year. He tied for third in the British Open.
Where's Doug from? Memphis or where?
Memphis. Yeah, Memphis.
And of course y'all are pretty close, aren't you?
We are, and I talk to him all the time. He called me when he got back from Scotland,
Yeah.
and he should have won that tournament, really.
Yeah.
He didn't putt well. He came in third, though.
Justin Thomas, Mike's favorite golfer, has won $6.5 million.
And Joe Durant played at Huntington. He's a good friend of mine. He came in third this week in the senior tournament up in Canada.
Now let me tell you this: Durant did well. Houston would run up to that other tournament. He was an Auburn guy, wasn't he? Wasn't Houston?
John Houston has been completely out of golf for like 10 years.
Yeah, I knew that.
And he just decided to play, and he almost won it. He should have won it. He missed a 3 or 4 foot putt on the last hole to win it.
Sure did, and people, they were talking about how one time he was one of the star young players out there, But now he's been gone, like you said. He's probably in his 40s, close to 50, wouldn't you say?
John Houston's 60-something. He's my age.
Oh yeah. In fact, that was a seniors tournament. You're right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's old.
Jordan Spieth had won $4.8 million, but he's not playing near the golf he was earlier, and it's just amazing how these John Rahm had an off year, but he still won $4.3 million. So, but I don't see Bubba anywhere. He didn't play enough to make the top 150. I don't think.
He's been hurt.
Yeah. But now Bubba has already signed to play that other league, though, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he's leaving. He's going to play in their next tournament, wherever it is,
Yeah.
at the end of the month.
Of course, our show is brought to you by the folks at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy. They've got a tremendous sale going on right now on new and used cars and trucks, and their used car they just have over 100 new or used cars and trucks to choose from, and a tremendous selection of Ram trucks and Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep, and all of those are some of the top automobiles out there. You see Jeeps everywhere now. That's got to be one of and you know, Ram trucks, you see them everywhere. And what they are, they right here in Troy, Alabama, they're giving you the best price available on the Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram truck right here in Troy on the bypass. Of course, back into our show, Horn Beverage is a very popular place right now, and of course, we appreciate them and what they do for different programs in our community. And I tell you what, Donna and Booty and all the rest are wonderful people. Of course, we also want to mention Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. If you're interested in a career in the trucking industry, call Wiley Sanders today and talk to my good buddy Horse Daddy. And of course, we'll
House
appreciate
Daddy.
House Daddy. And of course, you know, Jeffrey Bennett, and you know, we don't say enough about Jeffrey. He is a great spokesman for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, and does so many things for our community.
Sensational. And, you know, tomorrow we'll talk more about it, but at 1 o'clock tomorrow, Troy Post 70 will play Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, in the opening round of the not the College World Series, but the American Legion World Series.
It's a step lower than the College World Series, and that it's the World Series of American Legion Baseball.
It's going to be held at Keeter Stadium in Shelby, North Carolina. There are two divisions, a Stripes division and a Stars division. Each division has 4 teams. They'll play a round-robin game of 3 games each team. And then the top 2 teams will advance to an elimination playoff. And right now, the championship game is scheduled for Tuesday of next week. So they play tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Troy Post 70.
All right, now let me ask this. Now, tell us how we could at least hear it on the radio or...
well, I watch the live stats. I go to the American Legion Baseball.com, just type in American Legion Baseball, and it takes you to their website, and it says live stats or live viewing. And I didn't sign up for the live viewing of the game, but some of it's going to be on ESPN.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, yeah.
There's ways to look that up. Let's see if I don't have that article in front of me, but you can go to that website, and it'll pull up the stats. You can go back and look at this tournament. There were 8 tournaments throughout the country. And you can log on to any game and see the stats of those 64 teams in every game they played. And Troy played in the Mid-South tournament. They finished 4-1. They defeated Gonzales, I believe, by the score of 6-2. And they left from the Birmingham area and straight to North Carolina. So they've been gone for a while.
And I tell you what, there's a great group of people, and several kids from Charles Henderson and Headland and Rehoboth and Arrington, just some great young players from the Troy area.
So you going to the event this weekend, Mr. Will, in Ozark?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be something.
It will be fun. And Will, how can I run it? How can I find you down there, man? Just look for Will Matthews.
You're a celebrity. Every time look for the crowd huddled around.
Oh God. Yeah.
You might catch him on the dance floor.
Yeah. Probably can't find me sprawled out somewhere, you know. But
now you know these towns are not the original towns. They're all.
Oh, I know it. But these guys have been around a long time. That they can sing, be young, be foolish, but be happy.
Yeah, and you remember, oh, what a fool I am.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
I hired the towns 14 years ago to play my daughter's wedding in Ozark. And they had one of them at the time was still alive, and he was old then, and they wheeled him out in a wheelchair. And he sang one song.
Yeah.
But
you know, they go down with the Temptations, the Four Tops, all of the great bands, Motown bands. This is a Motown band at its best.
and they're gonna be good. Now they're all grandchildren of the towns and that
Yeah.
type thing.
Well, let me say this. It's going to be Friday night at 7 p.m., and it's going to run from 7 to 10 p.m. If you got the pounds for 3 hours, that would be something. But
Yeah,
the tickets are free.
It's at the Ozark Civic Center.
And all you have to
Seats
do...
about 4,000 or 5,000 people. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I think they're opening the doors at 5:30 Friday afternoon to get in. Get
Are all
your
the seats
Yeah.
chair back? Or most of the...
Yes.
Boy, that
Every
makes it
chair,
nice.
every seat is chair back.
That is wonderful, I tell you. And
Another thing about it, they're gonna have a bar. It's gonna be nice.
yeah. And yeah, it's going. I plan to be there, and hope to bring some people with me. But the good thing about it, doors open at 5:30, and it's free.
It's free, and then
the
all
concert
the
is free.
concerts Saturday are free,
Yeah.
starting around noon, and then the big concert is 7 o'clock Saturday night. They're gonna have food trucks.
Yeah.
They've got bars downtown. I mean, it's gonna be an event.
Well, let me tell you this. I walked around downtown Ozark yesterday, and just I can't say enough about how I enjoyed it. And you got all kinds of restaurants going up. Ozark is doing the right thing, and they're bringing a lot of industry back, and of course a lot of entertainment back that Ozark was known for a long time. The backs, the wonderful band with my buddy that is not here anymore. Will
The flashbacks.
yeah, man, they were good. They were good, and their lead
were
singer,
good.
their lead singer, was a good friend of mine, and I used to
Ray
write.
Williams.
And
Ray Williams.
and I'll tell you a song that other folks might say the same thing. They sang a song called Mrs. Grace. And one of the very few other bands that I've ever heard play Mrs. Grace, but it is wonderful. And I'm sure K-Jams will probably sing that Saturday night. Well,
That'll be good.
yeah. Will, we appreciate you calling in today, Mike. We're
Yes,
sorry
sir.
about...
And we were happy to get you down to Ozark yesterday.
Yeah, and listen, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'll be coming down there again soon.
All right.
See y'all.
Safe
Good day.
Friday night. And I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, have enjoyed it. Of course, Forrest keeps us up with what's going on, and that about got it for
Yes,
today.
yeah, we're good.
Again, our prayers and our thoughts with some of our friends that we lost this week, and I hope everything works out good with the Lord in mind, and He'll lead us in death and being wonderful people that are involved in these ceremonies this weekend. And hope that you'll come out and support Ozark and the Tams, and we'll be back tomorrow for Today in LA.
At the Piggly Wiggly